Imagine discovering a vegetable that survives 3 full years sitting on your shelf. No freezer, no canning jars, no preservation tricks. This same plant pumps out double the vitamins of regular pumpkin while feeding your family from vines that keep producing for 15 straight years. Sound impossible? This crop fed civilizations across 2 continents for 8 millennia before disappearing from American gardens in a single generation. Welcome to Nature's Forgotten World. I'm Wyatt, and what I'm about to share will fundamentally change how you think about growing your own food. If this information reaches you, hit that subscribe button right now, because revealing suppressed food crops doesn't make us popular with industrial agriculture, and we need your support to keep digging up these buried treasures. Drop a comment telling me if you've ever encountered this mystery squash, and smash that share button so more people discover what's been hidden from them. The plant goes by several names: Cucurbita ficifolia, fig leaf gourd, or chile coyote. That unfamiliar sound in your ears? Exactly the point. Acknowledging this vegetable's existence would expose an uncomfortable truth about modern gardening, that perennial crops can demolish annuals in productivity, nutrition, and storage capacity. Picture rural areas throughout Mexico during the early 20th century. Farmers trained chile coyote vines across barn rooftops, letting thick, woody stems, resembling mature grapevines, sprawl for years. 7-year-old vines delivered 40 to 60 substantial fruits each autumn. Every individual squash weighed between 15 and 30 pounds. No complicated preservation required. These farmers simply stacked fruits in unheated sheds where they remained edible through multiple winters. 3-year-old harvests still provided firm, rot-free flesh, perfect for soups, stews, and sweetened treats. Meanwhile, neighboring farmers, following conventional practices, replanted pumpkin patches every spring, harvested once, then watched their crop decay within 2 months. The chile coyote grower planted 7 years prior and would continue harvesting for 8 more seasons from identical vines. This cultivation pattern dominated Latin American agriculture for generations. Every homestead maintained perennial squash vines as insurance against failed harvests, food shortages, and seasonal scarcity. Then something changed. American agricultural consultants arrived throughout the 1950s, pushing hybrid seed programs and annual cropping systems. They labeled traditional perennial vegetables as backwards, unproductive, and outdated. Within 40 years, chile coyote cultivation plummeted, not because the plant failed, but because its success couldn't generate continuous profits. Understanding what chile coyote actually produces reveals why it threatened commercial interests. In frost-free climates, this cucurbit grows as a true perennial. Cold weather regions treat it as an annual, yet it still outperforms conventional pumpkins. Vines stretch 30 to 50 feet, anchored by extensive root networks. Mature fruits range from 10 to 40 pounds, with hard shells colored pale green or white. The revolutionary characteristic? Proper storage conditions, cool and dry, preserve whole fruits for 1 to 3 years. Some documented cases report 5-year viability. No canning equipment, no freezer space, no processing labor. Just intact squash sitting in storage, maintaining freshness across seasons. The white flesh inside delivers mild, slightly sweet flavor, similar to zucchini or winter squash. This versatility surpasses pumpkin's limited applications. Lower sugar content makes chile coyote ideal for savory preparations, soups, stews, stir-fries, while still working in desserts. Black seeds pack high protein and oil content, and every fruit yields enough seeds for future plantings, plus eating. Standard pumpkins demand annual replanting, produce 10 to 40 pounds per plant, then require immediate consumption or preservation since fruits rot within 2 to 4 months. Even longer-lasting pie pumpkin varieties provide limited storage windows. gardeners face perpetual seed purchasing, constant planting labor, and inevitable harvest losses. Chillicothe flips this equation. Single plantings in warm zones produce for 15 years. Fruits remain viable up to 3 years. One successful establishment delivers permanent squash production. Exactly why seed companies avoided promoting it. Zero recurring revenue after initial purchase. If you're starting to see how deliberately this information stayed hidden, show your support for nature's forgotten world by hitting that like button. We're building a community dedicated to rediscovering food independence, and every subscription helps us continue exposing what industrial agriculture buried. During the 1880s, Chillicothe appeared in American seed catalogs under names like Malabar Gourd or Fig Leaf Gourd. Companies marketed it toward experimental gardeners and Latin American immigrants. By 1920, availability had decreased substantially. Come 1960, mainstream catalogs completely dropped the crop. The shift coincided with hybrid squash development. Seed corporations engineered hybrid pumpkins and winter squash, producing sterile seeds that forced annual repurchasing, highly profitable. Chillicothe posed a direct threat, open-pollinated, perennial in appropriate zones, with seeds breeding true, no dependency creation. So it vanished. Agricultural universities never funded research. Extension services never included it in recommendations. Popular gardening publications never mentioned its existence. Meanwhile, Mexico, Central America, and Andean regions maintained continuous cultivation. The knowledge persisted where communities valued it. Obtaining seeds presents the primary challenge. American catalogs rarely stock them. Specialty heirloom companies occasionally carry limited supplies. Seed exchange programs sometimes list them. International sources, particularly Latin American seed businesses, prove most reliable. Once secured, planting mirrors pumpkin procedures. Wait until frost danger passes, provide full sunlight and enriched soil. Vines explode with vigor exceeding any annual squash variety. Space requirements are massive, or builders need incredibly sturdy trellising. These aren't lightweight fruits. Mature vines supporting hundreds of pounds require serious structural support. Traditional growers trained vines over corn stalks, up trees, across rooftops, and along fences. First-year production delivers 10 to 20 fruits, depending on growing season length. In frost-free zones, vines enter dormancy rather than dying, returning thicker and stronger each spring. Second-year yields jump to 30 through 50 fruits. Third year marks peak productivity, 50 to 80 squash per vine as root systems expand. Even in cold climates grown as annuals, Chillicothe outperforms pumpkins through faster growth, superior disease resistance, and exceptional storage capacity. Cold climate growers harvest before first frost. Warm zone harvests occur when fruits stop expanding and stems dry, typically October through November. Cut fruits leaving several inches of stem attached. This prevents rot entry points. Sun cure harvests for 1 week to harden shells, then transfer to cool, dry storage spaces. Basements, garages, sheds, anywhere maintaining 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit works perfectly. Fruits simply sit there. Shells progressively harden, flesh stays firm. Months pass, years pass. Come March, crack one open to discover perfect flesh that cooks like fresh squash. This pattern continues up to 3 years per fruit. That's genuine food security. Pumpkins cannot deliver comparable reliability. Indigenous peoples depended on Chillicothe precisely for this reason: famine insurance through multi-year storage from single harvests. Chillicothe surpasses pumpkin nutritionally. Analysis reveals elevated vitamin C levels, increased fiber, superior mineral content. Seeds contain 35% protein versus pumpkins 25%, plus higher oil concentration. Lower sugar content actually benefits most dietary applications. Pumpkin's high sugar limits savory versatility. Chilacayote's mild profile suits everything from soups and stews to curries and desserts. Traditional Mexican preparations include chilacayote and tacha, candied squash with piloncillo and cinnamon. The same ingredient appears in pozole soups and tamale fillings. Peruvian applications include stews and livestock feed. One plant, multiple purposes, multi-year storage, enhanced nutrition, superior across every category except marketing visibility. Single pumpkin plants yield 20 to 40 pounds, then die. 10 years requires 10 plantings, producing 200 to 400 pounds total. One chilacayote plant in Zone 9 produces 40 pounds year 1, 80 pounds year 2, then 120 pounds annually through year 15. That totals over 1,500 pounds from one planting, 8 times more production with triple the storage duration. For home growers, the mathematics demolish annual pumpkin economics. Chilacayote delivers more food with less work over time. But reduced labor means fewer purchases, decreased inputs, less dependency, precisely what commercial interests couldn't permit. In Latin American immigrant communities, chilacayote never abandoned. Home gardens throughout Mexican-American neighborhoods and small farms maintained continuous cultivation. Knowledge survived within communities prioritizing food security over convenience. Now, permaculture practitioners are rediscovering this crop, learning about perennial squash potential, seeking chilacayote seeds, recognizing storage capabilities, and beginning cultivation. Seed sharing spreads the plant through underground networks rather than commercial channels, person to person, garden to garden. Mainstream gardening still ignores its existence. Major seed companies don't stock it. Garden centers never carry it. Popular magazines never feature it. The suppression continues because acknowledging chilacayote means admitting annual pumpkins are inferior for home food production. Before we wrap up, make sure you're subscribed to Nature's Forgotten World and share this video with anyone who cares about real food independence. Drop a comment about whether this information is new to you. Your engagement helps us reach more people who need these forgotten crops. Locate chilacayote seeds through specialty heirloom companies, international sources, or Latin American seed sellers. This represents the hardest step. Plant like pumpkins, but provide extensive space or industrial-strength support structures. Expect aggressive vine growth. Harvest everything before frost in cold zones. Store in cool, dry locations. Learn to cook with this versatile ingredient. It works in any squash recipe. Save seeds from every fruit, hundreds per squash. Dry thoroughly, store properly, share generously. Suppressed crops return through this person-to-person seed exchange. Zone 9 through 11 growers should protect perennial vines through winter. Mulch root zones heavily. Second-year production doubles. Third year delivers overwhelming abundance. Build genuine food security. Multi-year storage means never facing squash shortages. Failed harvests one season? Previous year's fruits remain available. This is Nature's Forgotten World, where we uncover what industrial agriculture needed you to forget. I'm Wyatt, reminding you that the most powerful crops often hide in plain sight until we choose to see them again.